Well, hello. 4 p.m. on the East Coast, 1 p.m. Pacific. It's Monday, 28th of April, year of our Lord 2025. Let's bring in Catherine, Eleanor, Laura, and Rex,
Hi.
Ellen Northern, my co-hosts for today. Is Rex there? Did we lose Rex?
I'm here.
Rex.
It's Seymour. Hey, Katie Kate.
Well done, Rex. And also, just briefly, Philip, just come in, say hello from behind the scenes. We'll bring Philip back in a little bit later. But
Hi, Philip.
Philip.
Is
Hi.
running the desk around. Oh, he's off again already. Well,
He's very busy.
yeah, I mean, good talk, good chat. So welcome. As you've gathered, this is a relatively informal gathering, but it's a very important one, right, guys? We are, I don't know, is it 5-6 weeks into our spring fundraising equities fundraiser for MAGFAST with, well, here's the thing. The SEC has really, let's just say, unusual rules, like one or two of the elements of the rules are unexpected. We're not actually allowed to say here when the raise itself closes. I can tell you that the perks we're going to talk about go away at midnight on Wednesday. Okay, and if you go to Net Capital via magfast.com/invest, magfast.com/invest, all of the relevant information is gathered in a compliant way together in that place. Look, the last few weeks have been amazing. I mean, you were both there. It just seems like the blink of an eye since we first showed these new products in public. And the progress has just been astonishing. And that's really what we're here to talk about today, because we're just so thrilled with the rate at which everything is going. Plus, we're going to answer a bunch of questions and so on. So welcome, whoever you are, wherever you are in the world. Let's get the slides up and say welcome to Power Delivery Update. Today, we're going to just show you how we're getting on with the important project that we, I guess, started almost exactly a year ago, MAGFAST 2.0, where we set aside the challenges of the past and have really been reinventing every element of the company from top to bottom with the help of Rex and Kate, who you see here, working flat out, Philip working flat out, and just a crazy load of other folks working full and part-time for the new MAGFAST. So we're thrilled. So coming up in the next hour, in the next half hour, it's going to be pretty simple, but let's just keep it pretty loose, folks. Kate, Rex, if thoughts come to you that you think have to be shared immediately, by all means jump in. Kate, keep an eye on this. The social media. There's a new one called TikTok, I believe. Keep an eye on the on the TikTok. And Blue Land. There's one called Blue Land now. I kid. I jest. I'm all over them. I'm all over them. You stick with me, I'll teach you. You'll learn. We're going to do an update on the perks. We've actually upgraded the perks. Should just explain about perks. What are the perks, Kate? What is when we say perks? What do we mean?
Perks are something amazing that you get when you invest at certain levels. So we have $500 level, $1,000 level, $2,000, $5,000, and $10,000. And each level you get something different. It builds from the bottom level. So let's say you invest $2,000, then you get all the perks from the previous levels. So yeah, it's exactly. Very, very cool.
It's super. I do just want to say the minimum investment is just over $100. The economics of the perks mean that we can't really do perks there. We've sort of tried it in the past. Maybe we'll try it in the future. This time not. But we do have a brand new one that everyone's going to get at $500 or more. And it was interesting watching over the weekend as investments, a very busy week. Lots of people over and over again. I would check, and people who were investing, they'd previously invested. Many just a few weeks ago in this round, presumably to kind of so they qualify for the next perk, and they're impressed with the way things have been going over the last few weeks. And I think I shared last time we met. Something like 40% of all, I think I have the slide again in this deck today, but 40% of all investors have come back in kind of a second time, which is truly, truly extraordinary. So we'll give you an update on the perks. We're going to talk about the development of the products, which is going. If you've been with MAGFAST since the beginning, you better strap yourself in, because the speed is unbelievable compared to the past, and actually phenomenal compared to pretty much any company. So we're thrilled with the speed of development now. And then we're going to have a conversation with which Rex is going to anchor, just talking about stakeholder value. And that word stakeholder, it's used on CNBC quite a bit, but not in everyday conversation. What do we mean when we say stakeholder, Rex?
Well, stakeholders are everyone involved. If you're a stakeholder in MAGFAST, if you own a little piece of the company, if you're an investor in MAGFAST, if you're one of the team members of MAGFAST, all our friends, all our supporters, all our customers. So we're talking about this big group of people, many of whom have just been around for many years and been phenomenal supporters of this organization, and are the reason that Kate looks so wonderful. And of course, Seymour is still working on that.
Yes.
So stakeholders, everybody who's involved in MAGFAST. So
a lot of companies talk about, shareholder value. It's fine. Shareholders are stakeholders. Yes. But we're doing this for everybody who has supported this project at any level forever. And I think it was some of you folks know that I was fortunate enough to meet Richard Branson a few years ago and spend a bit of time with him. And I think this is one of his quotes: like, the team are if you look after the team will make sure that everybody else is happy, right? So when I get up every day, like, my very, very first concern is that the folks who are working on this project every day are happy, because I know that if they aren't, we're not going to make the products properly. We're not going to look after our customers. We're not going to look after our shareholders. We're not going to look after the consultants who work with us. We're not going to look after everybody. So we're going to talk about stakeholder value, which of course, investment holders, shareholders, other investment product holders, of course, are very much part of that. So those are the three things we're going to cover. Got a little bonus thing just before we start. We've been talking a little obtusely for a while about our Gen 2 connector. We are still not ready to make kind of a full presentation about it. It's just going great in testing. So this is just a quick summary for those who haven't seen it before. In the world of charging at the moment, there's essentially two ways to charge, right? You can either just show me for a second, please, Philip. You can either plug your phone in with a wire, right? And you can move a lot of power through this cable, 140, 240 watts. You can move a lot of data, 5, 10 gigabits per second. You don't need data most of the time, but when you need it, you really do need it. So the cable is great, but it's a bit inconvenient, and they break and they fray and this, that, and the other. Not ours, but most of them do. Then there is the super easy, convenient way of charging, where you just put something on there. But it's charging only because of the protocol. We have invented something that combines the best of both. And look here, this is the freshly. Can you see any of this? You're not supposed to see any of this really, but this is the fresh patent application. This thing is in now. It is filed as of. Let me just get my slide up here with the date. Filed as of 22nd of April, so just 6 days ago. This thing is phenomenal. I want to thank everybody who worked on this. Philip did a huge amount of work kind of behind the scenes, making sure that it was technically correct, because obviously our incredible patent attorney, our intellectual property attorney, Steve Barnes, who's amazing, by the way. In fact, is his email address up on the screen there?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
If you've got an idea for a business, you need a trademark, or you've got an idea for a product, give Steve a call, because as great as his work is for us, it isn't a full-time gig, IP for MAGFAST. He spends kind of, a big chunk of his time, but he's just fantastic, and we love to share the best resources with our community whenever we can. But anyway, I said to him, what do you like? How long has he been in business? You were there, Rex. Is it 30?
He said he's been doing this for 30 years when we had this conversation.
So 3 decades of patents, trademarks, patent, IP, intellectual property work. He said it's the most significant I worked on in decades. He said, I want this thing in my home, I think was what he said. And then we said, well, okay, well, we'd like to do a slide. We'd like a slide with a quote of how you feel about this, 30 years, give us your professional opinion. And Steve said, this is cool. So that's professional patent attorney's opinion of the Gen 2 connector. We've got a whole branding thing around it. It's going to be super cool. We will talk, and anyone who's already invested in the company will get to, when we're successful if we're successful with that, we'll get to benefit from that. And actually just that brings up a point. We sometimes get people saying, oh, I invested, I bought some shares 3 years ago. Am I still invested in the company? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely you are. So anybody who's ever made an investment, which is not the same as placing a product order or a pre-order, anyone who's ever invested, you're an investor.
Can I say something? I see a comment and I just wanted to bring it up. Sure. Just a T-Rex, that's his name. Just a T-Rex says, this is not really live. I just want to say this is definitely live.
So how do we handle that? I mean, in the old days, you'd hold up a newspaper to show that the hostage was taken recently. I don't know.
Well, at least a T-Rex knows it's live because I just answered his comment.
There we go. There's a newspaper.
Here's my watch.
I'm in California. That's the time.
So 1:11 in California, 4:11. Huh? What do you think now? Just a T-Rex. Bless you. Thank you for being there. Listen, the truth of the matter is that sometimes we do pre-record stuff. If it's more complex, we want to make sure that that we deliver. That today's is live because we wanted a bit more informal and we wanted to be able to take high quality commentary from our audience. But yeah, no, we sometimes pre-record stuff. We've got a couple of short pre-recorded clips that we'll do today. But anyway, patent application is in, and the best damn patent attorney you've ever met says, "Damn, this is cool." All right. Let's do a perks update. As Kate said, these are they're just the little sweeteners, little gifts, the cheese that we give to folks who invest in our rounds from time to time. We've done various different things over the years. In the early days, it took a while to fulfill them all, but we did make. I'll actually just show this guy real quick. This was first generation MAGFAST Air, and it's just, I don't know if you can see the reflections. There's just a beautiful, beautiful thing. Limited edition. All of these were made, distributed to the investors who would due them, and there's still a couple of people who never collected them. So if you're one of the investors who was due one of those and doesn't have it, just get in touch and we'll hook you up. So little perks update. To date, we have shipped. Actually, this is a little bit out of date, so it's a bigger number than the one on your screen right now. This is a slide from a couple of weeks ago. But as of the previous presentation, we shipped 131,857 units of various different products. So the next products that we are going to ship, hopefully, will be to you as one of the investors in this round. And we have a brand new one that I want to show you, which we've just introduced at the $500 level. We're going to do a limited edition of this puppy, the brand new Lux Pro. All right, and these things are sweet. I'm actually be using them in different colors during this presentation. I've got it. You can see the stuff behind me. I've got a live demo. Oh, by the way, just a T-Rex, whatever your name is. When the live demo goes sideways, then you'll have proof positive that we're live. But yeah, because we're going to do this in a limited edition. I'm just going to cover this because we're going to talk about the other products in more detail later. But I'm going to just talk quickly about this now. So Lux Pro, did we just get it? Is it up on the screen? If you could just make it the big item on the screen, please there, Philip. Okay, so this thing is a beast, 240 watts. That's actually the maximum that USB-C anywhere has at the moment. That is the max out of the standard. We're going to do 10 gigabits per second, which is enough to download a full movie. If your computer and the thing you're downloading it to can take it, the cable is capable of moving an entire HD movie, and I think it's three seconds, something like that. Also comes with this beautiful USB-A adapter. Just a word on that. The USB-A standard is the old standard, so this is just for compatibility with other things that you might have around the house, or you're traveling, you're at the airport, you want to plug into one of those old outlets. You can see on it, do you see that it says 10 gigabits per second? So we're able to do the same data transfer with USB-A. but the USB-A standard can't handle that kind of power. So we do 20 watts there. This is a bonus for you to use when you need it. It shouldn't be part of your, we don't recommend it as part of your permanent setup. I just want to show you one more thing about this, which is really cool. I don't know how well this is showing up on the screen. I'll show it to you in one of the lighter colored cables here, but it comes with this this fantastic little strap. Let me just show you this real quick. Okay, which also acts as a retainer for the can you guys see this? You see this well enough?
For that adapter, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so the adapters there matching color, matching, and this thing is now super strong. We had a batch of someone else's in the early days of MAGFAST. We had someone else's straps, so we're like, this isn't good enough. So we made our own, and it's super strong and absolutely fantastic. So that's new at $500 or more. So everybody who invests $500 or more cumulatively in March and April of this year. So not from previous ones, but if you joined us on, when was the previous presentation, folks? April the hour delivery. Anybody remember?
March 13th.
March 13th. Thank you. March the 13th.
Well done,
so,
it was.
So on, thank you. Okay, so on or later than March the 13th, cumulatively through to the end of April, whatever your cumulative total is, if it's $500 or more, we will include this gorgeous limited edition.
And it's worth just mentioning that there's no downside in making a series of investments. Net Capital doesn't charge you any more money, they don't charge you anything at all for making an investment. There is the 3% roughly for the credit card charge, but that doesn't change. You could make 5 investments or 1 or 63, wouldn't make any difference there. And there is no fee per investment, and there's no difference. We do pay a fee to Net Capital, but there's no difference in the fee that we pay based on the number of investments you make. So
that, by the way, is part of the cost of capital. All right, if you're a new entrepreneur, experienced business people will know this, but there's something called the cost of capital. And so when you need money, there are costs. Yeah, there are costs associated with it. The cost of capital might be what you pay the bank for their loan or something. In this case, there's a fee that we pay for Net Capital. It's actually a very modest fee.
It's very reasonable. I mean, the Net Capital cost of capital is much lower than other platforms. You know.
Hey, while we're talking about Net Capital, by the way, if you have a business and you need to, you got to talk to the guys at Net Capital. They're just fantastic. We are live on Net Capital's homepage right now.
Yeah.
Right now, we're streaming live on Net Capital's homepage, and which I think is a first for Net Capital. It's certainly a first for us. So if you happen to be at netcapital.com right now, hello, welcome. I guess this is a little tiny weeny piece of micro history happening now. All right, so we've got to keep moving here. 500 and up, we're going to do limited edition Lux Pro like that. All right, what else have we got? Okay, so the big announcement of a few weeks ago was this beautiful AirPro. I'm going to do a detailed demo on it a bit later on, but let's just plug it in now. So this thing is a true industry heavyweight. It's literally has a heavy weight. We'll show you just how important that is later on. If you haven't seen the demo before, that is worth waiting for. We think it's a heavyweight in design. We're actually going to put it in for some design awards. We think it is, you'll see some of the competitors later. We think it's by far the most beautiful in the industry. And it's a heavyweight in power as well. The others do 25, 30 watts, that kind of thing. We take up to 140 watts on the input. So it's really, really something really impressive. And that is included as I say, the thing is heavy, made out of metal. It's gorgeous. That is included as a free gift for investors at $1,000 or more in this round. And I have a feeling that there's a little glitch on my slide there. It says 2 at the top. It should say invest 1K. At the top there. My apologies for that. Here's the thing about doing presentations with hundreds of slides. Doesn't matter how long you spend on them, there's always a glitch somewhere or other. Right. So one AirPro if you invest at the 2K level.
Oh, and let me just ask you a question. So just in case you've already said it, but it didn't.
I'm going to correct the slides while you ask the question.
Well, why not do that? And then Katie Kate can answer the question. So Katie Kate, if I invest $1,000, do I also get the $500 perk?
Yes, of course. They are cumulative, which is I love that we're doing that.
All cumulative.
Yep.
Very good. Okay. Yep. I'll make sure. And if I invest $2,000, do I get the
Yes. Do you want to go through every single level and ask that question, Rex?
Well, while Seymour's creating the slide.
And at the $5,000 level.
Okay, we're nearly there. What happens when you stop sharing is that you have to reshare your window. You see, a share screen window.
You saw that you switched them because it said 1,000 on the $2,000. Okay.
I did. Yeah.
Okay.
Is that it, Philip? If I share that one, is that the one you need? There you go. All right. Okay. So now do you think it's live? Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So at the $2,000 level, this is the one little glitch in the accumulator. This is the glitch. Kate said that you get the previous levels. This is the one where the previous level is included in this level, because at $1,000 you get one of these. At the 2,000 you get two of these and two of the special hub that we've made. That's kind of a base, a hub for data. That's a base for Air. We're calling it database. So you're going to get two of these, and this is one of our upgrades. Since we last met, we have actually upgraded the specification of Air Database to Air Database Pro. And let's actually bring Philip in right now to just explain why we made that change. Just quickly explain why we made the change and what the change is, please, sir.
So when we first spec'd out database, we said we want 2 USBs on the front and then 4 USBs on the back. So apparently, in order to do that, they need to use 2 MCUs, but unfortunately, the second MCU only uses 1 port out of 5 or 4.
MCU being a
now you
What's it stand for?
Microcontroller unit.
Microcontrol unit.
There we go.
Very good. I was wondering which of you would get that first.
So we ended up basically paying for the extra microcontroller unit, but not using the full specs of it. So we figured, like, if we're already paying for the second one, we might as well use it and add more features to the thing.
Yeah. So I don't have a physical one of these to show you yet, but the Pro that you will be receiving, and it will be limited edition as well, is going to add an audio jack on the front here and also add cards. So if you have a card reader, it's be super convenient right on your desk as well. So we're super excited. We're super excited about that change as well. So yeah, something special. Right now, also we've noticed over the years that a lot of people invest a lot more, and we wanted to do something for those folks as well. In addition to these perks, and I asked Rex, and I were chatting one day, and I said, "Mate, why don't you come up with something special and different that sort of like puts an intellectual investment in, but doesn't necessarily run up a big kind of cost for the company." And Rex has developed a special one-day event, an online event called Future Focus. Talk us through it, Rexy.
So Future Focus is an online event. It's a new thing that really nothing we've done in the past looks like. It's a brand new kind of way of embracing our stakeholders, everyone who's involved in MAGFAST, and I know that Katie, who looks like she's frozen to me, but she's not, will be there. So it's a one-day online event. The first thing and most important thing possibly for you to know is that we will be delivering lunch for you, and the lunch will come via DoorDash or a similar service. And we also enjoy that. A little incentive.
Just a little aside. I've known Rex for decades, about as long as Steve Barnes has been doing intellectual property. And every time there's any discussion of an event, Rex goes, well, you know, back in the day in England, when I started my first computer company, we'd do these events at the local hotel. And the secret was, if you give them food, 5 times as many people will come along. So
and that's about the ratio. Yes.
Yeah. So here we are. Come for the food. Stay for the incredible content.
Yeah, so this is the kind of program that I and colleagues of mine have run many times before. There are many things about what MAGFAST does which are very special. This is, we're really at the kind of front of the battle lines here, doing some extraordinary things. And I think the amount of material you're going to get and the kind of insights you'll experience from kind of learning about what goes on behind the business in a way that doesn't happen in one of these presentations. These presentations are quite short, even though we talk for an hour and a half when you come along. But there'll be a little piece today where we're going to be talking about behind the business and what's going on and stakeholder value and so forth. This will be a full day. You can dip in as much or as little as you'd like to. But if you're an investor and you'd like to learn a little bit about investing in early stage companies, if you're thinking of running your own business or you do have your own business, you want to kind of pull out what's been going on in MAGFAST with the hours, the actually tens of thousands of hours that go into online digital marketing. You'd like to learn from some of the team that's working on retail and experience some of those things. If you want to ask your own questions in any of these areas about entrepreneurship, about early stage investing, or about the kind of future of technology as we see it, this is a great day for you. It'll be fun, it'll be informative, it'll be chatty, it'll be interactive, and you'll be able to get your questions answered.
Yeah, I just want to emphasize that this is not a one-day promotion for MAGFAST. This is, I mean, of course, you'll learn about it, and hopefully you'll feel even better about MAGFAST by the end of it. But the thesis of the day is we've learned a lot, and we still have a lot more to learn. So why don't we share what we've learned with you? It'll be interesting if you're an investor, interesting for you. If you're an entrepreneur or you know an entrepreneur, you're welcome to bring them along, sit beside you. There's going to be some very, very cool stuff in there because we do some stuff that no other. I think folks watching probably know this. We have been the most successful of any company ever raising funds on the Net Capital platform by quite a bit. And you met the others, Avadain, the other day, and we're the two of us are quite a ways ahead of anyone else. And ChatGPT. I asked it to go research in detail. They have a new deep research product. I said, can you find out who's the all-time #1 raising funds in this way, which it's called Reg CF. The SEC calls it Reg CF. And ChatGPT said it's MAGFAST as well. I haven't taken the time to hand check that. But certainly we're doing some things that nobody else does, and we're getting some results that other people don't get. That doesn't mean we don't have a long way to go, but we're doing some really cool stuff that I think could benefit in any business. So we'd love to share that with you at future focus date to be announced, but it's going to be super cool. And yeah, we're going to get Uber Eats or one of those services to deliver you lunch, because Rex, then at least 5 times as many people are going to come, right?
Exactly right. At least 5 times many for that's for a $5,000 investment. You might want to bring the slides up for a second, Philip, and just show what we're talking about. So it's all of it. Well, there's the 10K. There's a 10K. Can we just go back to 5K for a second, just to make sure that we
can. Where is it? There. Yeah, there you go.
This is the event. So those 3 things: entrepreneurship, investing, technology. We're going to be summarizing all the things that we know about in terms of these kind of key areas of marketing, thousands and thousands of hours. We're going to be summarizing what it takes to make quote unquote successful investments in early stage companies and so forth, what we've learned about the angel space. And we're going to be summarizing what we think about the future of technology in the spaces that we're in. So a lot of very pithy information delivered in a single day.
Indeed.
Join us at that level.
And then if you want to invest 10K in this round, join us for dinner in New York. It'll be a very, very special evening indeed. All right. So there you go. I promised to do a perks update. I think most people are here now. So let's get on with the kind of the first of the 2 core segments, which is the development of Gen 2. All right. So here is Gen 2. And we're going to focus today on the first 2 products of Gen 2. On the right is AirPro. Oh, I love this thing. And on the left is Database Pro. Actually, the model you're seeing there is Air Database. Guys, just be careful with microphone. I'm hearing a little bit of extra microphone noise leaking in. Yeah, so AirPro and Air Database Pro, and let's take a look at them now. So AirPro, we first showed you the other day, and it is a true true market heavyweight. I've got a full demo of it coming up a bit later, but it's really, really incredible. But what I wanted to show you right now is that we are already in the business of starting manufacturing. Now, manufacturing is many stages. There's a little bit like when you refresh a room in your house, like if you paint or decorate a room, most of the work is in the preparation. It's the same if you're going to have a successful, manufacturing run. Most of the work is in the preparation. So preparation is already underway. But I think if I can just play this video here, you could probably even hear the noise of what's going on here. So this is a trial production run of the Qi 2. That's the wireless charging modules using what's called an SMT machine. SMT is surface mount technology, which is a method for attaching electronic components directly to the surface of a printed circuit board. And it's the video stops and the sound stops, but it allows for really high density component placement. It's great for smaller, more complex devices. So that's a trial run of the manufacturing for the boards that are going to go. There's 3 of them in AirPro, 1, 2, and 3. So that sort of cake tray that you can see there, on the cookie tray that you can see on the screen, with a total of 12 of them, that would be sufficient. Therefore, there's 16 of them there, aren't there? So that's sufficient for 5 of these with one left over. So I just wanted to show you that the stuff is happening and it is underway, and we couldn't be more pleased. I'll do a full demo of AirPro for you a little bit later on, but right now I wanted to talk about our hub for data. That's a base for AirPro that we're calling Database, because as some of you know, this package arrived a few days ago via DHL. And I was saying, oh, I'm gonna open the package live on air. As I mentioned earlier, demos have a habit of going wrong when they're live. And I thought that was too risky. So I did open the box and I did remove its contents. And I have the contents over here on the desk behind me. And Philip, we've got a new camera in called the Wig. It's called the Wig Cam. Can we bring it up there? Hello. Hey, Katie. Hey, Rex. Hey, everyone.
Hi.
Hello, Net Capital homepage. But what you've got here is you've got a little setup. I'm going to demo the new Air Database Hub. It's a simple setup. I've already got, as you can see, it's got nothing plugged in other than just one LuxPro cable. I'm going to plug this LuxPro cable into this. You can plug it into any computer. I'm just plugging it into an iPad here. All right, let's open up the iPad. There's our Net Capital homepage at the moment. And the first thing I'm going to do, so you guys can see it a little more easily, is I'm going to plug in this screen behind. Got the screen on an HDMI cable. Let's take it here, plug it right in. Now this is your heart skips a beat moment for me, because sometimes it doesn't come up that quickly. Right. we've now got the hub connected to the iPad, and immediately we've got the external screen going there. So that's pretty great. Well, what else can we do? Well, we could connect, I don't know, a camera. Look, there's the camera built into the. There's the camera that's built into the iPad. But I've got this little guy here. This is an old one. Look how rotten bad cables look. This one's permanently attached to this webcam here. But look at that compared to our beautiful cables. All right, so I'm going to take the webcam and plug it in. And let me just show you here. I don't know how well you can see this, but if I click on here, this shows you the cameras that are available. The back camera, look, currently available, which just shows behind there, and the front camera you just saw. So now let's plug in this other camera. It usually takes a second or two to connect, but now, we've now got this stream webcam. You can take a look at yourself up there. There you are. There's the camera looking at the camera. Oh, look, that one's got googly eyes. See?
Oh.
All right. So we've attached that as well. What else could we do? I've got a little. Actually, I should probably switch back to Well, no, you guys are up there, aren't you? Yeah.
Mhm.
Hello. So this is one of these, what do they call it? Thumb drives, little thumb drive, right? Take that, plug that in it goes. How do I show you that the thumb drive is there? iPad allows you to show files. So let's show files here. And it's showing me recents. And yeah, here's everything that's available. And there's move speed. I guess I should have plugged it in while you're already here, but move speed is this guy already here. In fact, if I unplug it, you'll see move speed. You should see move speed disappear. There he goes. It disappears like that.
Very cool.
So you get the idea. We've got a microphone over here as well. Let me plug that in. Same sort of deal. If I go to the microphones on this, that's not a very attractive shot we've got coming out there at the moment, is it? That's not much better. If I go over to the microphone settings here, again, at the moment, we've only got the iPad and the microphone in this guy. But now if I plug in this external microphone, we should get, there you go. Do you see that come in there? Hypersonic Solo Cast is in there now, and we're able to select that. And this is now 1212. You can see that this is now the microphone that's coming into the iPad. All right. So that just gives you a little. This is the first ever demo that we've done of Air Database. I think it's fantastic. It looks. It's great having these C's on the front here, so you can just plug things in, and then a bunch of them around the back as well. So anything that you have permanently, you'd plug in around the back. See, like this. Oh, one thing I didn't show you. It has pass-through power as well. My iPad is actually 100% charged at the moment, but if I bring power into the back here, like that, don't know if you can hear it or see it, but you can just see that the little charging icon has started there. So pass-through power, plug a whole bunch of things in all at once, and it can sit there looking absolutely gorgeous. Look, right on your desk. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is Air Database. And you'll be getting Pro if you're one of the investors at $2,000 level or more. So we're really, really thrilled with that. And I think, Kate, the evidence seems to be, we're hearing from folks investing in this round that they're all about the combo. I think it's one of the reasons that I think it's a key driver of the success of this round is people understand how we've created a system here. Yeah, this is a fantastic anchor product. By the way, MAGFAST has a history of being very strong at getting folks to buy multiples of products. We did it with the old company that predated MAGFAST. We were selling an average of 4 of a product that would normally be sold in ones. And then, I think, what do we say the average Lux cable owner has 5 Lux cables? This is very, very unusual in the industry.
Yep.
So we're going to do some great offers later in the year for folks who are going to be buying AirPro. We'll do really great deals on multiples and that kind of thing. But today, the only way to get it, and the only way to get the limited edition ones, is to invest in this round. And at the $2,000 level, you're going to get 2 of these and 2 of these, both limited edition. Absolutely gorgeous. Thrilled. Can't stop babbling about it because I'm so damn excited about it. And I want to just bring up this slide from our previous presentation. This was the way our development process was in the past. And many people watching now have stuck with us through some tough times in the past. The product development cycle was insane. If you can see in the bottom right-hand corner there, it took far too long and the cost, of course, went up like crazy. I hope that what you're seeing now is proof positive that this is the shift we have made. All right. We have radically reduced the time and therefore radically reduced the cost as well. And actually, if I were to accurately draw that in cost, it would be considerably low. I think that's accurate on time. It's actually the cost would be significantly lower than that because we've just found some partners who really love what we're doing and really believe in what we're doing. And it's pretty amazing. So I'll just put this technical drawing up of Air Database Pro. Philip, do you want to just come back in and explain this? Because this is a little too technical. This is a little bit above my pay grade, this piece. But maybe you can talk folks through what we're looking at here.
Yeah, so this is the latest ideas industrial design of the Air Database Pro. So we went a couple of rounds on this because we were getting little issues, like for instance, that audio jack was not centered all around, which was a no-no. It was just like slightly off-center, which is even more annoying than it being completely off-center.
I just want to, can I just put, like, you go look at stuff you've got around the house that's got rows of different outputs on it, different ins and outs. They're almost always up and down like that. We're like, no, the design, people are going to be looking at this. It has to be in a beautiful straight line. It takes longer. It's more painful. The factories are not used to this, but they can do it. And part of Philip's genius is making sure that this stuff happens. So there it is, on beautiful on the dead center line.
So
talk about the card on the right.
Jack. Yeah, we're going to work on the card because that's the next thing we're going to fix. So underneath that card, there's also a micro SD slot, but it's underneath the big one. So which is not ideal, meaning you put a card in there, you can't really access the micro SD slot without lifting the whole thing and then trying to get it in and out. So we're going to try and rotate and swap them out so that the micro SD also is on the top and then the big SD is on the bottom. That way you get access to both of them at all times.
Yeah, I mean, the truth is it's very rare. I mean, this, again, these are details. This is an edge case that someone would even be attempting to use both at the same time. But we think that it's this kind of attention to detail that matters. And one of the approaches we're taking to manufacturing these, let me just grab this one here, is a beautiful rounding of these inputs and outputs on here. I don't know how well you can see it. Maybe I can put it on this camera here. Can we get up onto the top camera? Does this focus in? Can you see this well enough? Do you see how they're all not quite?
It's a little blurry. Maybe back up a little. There you go. Oh wait, no, you had it for a second.
There we go. That's pretty good.
What if I do this? How about that?
No.
Not really.
That's good. That's good.
Anyway, the point about it, people, is that the edges are all beautifully rounded, so it feels fantastic. It looks beautiful, and as a result of that, we're actually able to make one tool for both versions of Database and Database Pro, even though they have different numbers of ins and of I/O around the edges, input and output, because the top piece is made, and then these are individually machined on the side. And guess what? Tooling is already underway for Database and Database Pro. And I got a little video I can just show you right here. If we can bring that up on the screen, please, Philip. Here, probably with some loud noise to accompany it as well. You're now watching the machining of the metal that will be used to create the main circle here. So it's pretty incredible. This stuff is already underway, and the timing of it is just a kind of incredible record compared to everything that we've seen in the past. So, I mean, I am beyond thrilled. Philip has seen these videos before, but they're new to you, Kate. They're new to you, Rex, because some of this stuff like just came in. What do you think?
That's so cool.
It's fantastic. It's
That's
fantastic
amazing.
to see the new MAGFAST and the new products, Gen 2 products coming on so incredibly fast. And great kudos to you and the rest of the team that are working on these things, Seymour and Philip. You're doing amazing stuff. You're also getting this kind of direct connection with the people who are doing the design, the final engineering work, getting these things into the factory, doing the tooling and so on and so forth. It's that direct connection, which is with a very, very kind of rapid development cycle. I think everybody's incredibly impressed with how well it's going.
Mm-hmm.
Can I just say, next time Rex is speaking like that, if we can just take him off the screen altogether. Thank you. Yeah. I jest. I haven't loved this guy for decades without having a bit of fun along the way. All right, so that's it for those first two sections. What I wanted to do now is let's go on to this section. We'll do the crazy weight demo and stuff of that a little bit later on. But let's do this section where we talk about stakeholder value here. And Rex has just been. Rex, as I said, we've been working together for many, many years. And whilst I tend to get the kind of, I don't know, it's glamorous, but if I tend to get the kind of fun part of doing these demos and this kind of thing, Rex is doing a huge amount of the business work in the background. What is the business model? Who are the stakeholders? How do we look after them? He established the original relationship with Net Capital, which has been the cornerstone of this company for many years now, as you know. So whatever I may say or imply, Rex, I remain incredibly grateful to you. And Rex is going to take us through just a few thoughts now around how we develop stakeholder value. Stakeholder, as we explained earlier, meaning everybody who's involved, particularly, well, I don't just want to say particularly anybody, but our team has to be happy first of all. I got to tell you, the team has never been happier or more excited about something. We're not even talking today about some of the stuff we're doing with AI and data and ways that we're going to use that to create an incredible, genuinely great customer experience, because there's lots of bad chatbots out there. We don't want any of that, but we're doing some very cool stuff that's not part of today's agenda. But we want the team to be happy, and then of course our customers and investors and our suppliers, right? Well, we have the happiest ever suppliers at the moment. That's why they're working so quickly and so beautifully for us. So that's stakeholders. Rex, talk us through these three phases. This is one of the models we use to think about the work that we're doing.
Yeah. So I mean, obviously, everyone who's watching this, I hope, has got the theme of delivery. Right? We even used the term delivery twice in the title of this event, right? This is Power Delivery Update, and you're going to hear a lot from Seymour and from me and from the rest of the team on delivery of the perks, making sure that those perks get delivered, delivery of the products. There's also obviously a strong intent here to deliver in terms of stakeholder value, and there's nothing we can do to promise or to guarantee that there will be delivery of stakeholder value. There is, the future is the future, and no company can guarantee anything about what the future holds. But what we can do is we can tell you what we're doing and some of the future-based activities that we're working on right now, and some of the things that will happen in the coming months and years, and give you some expectations in terms of that delivery of potential delivery of value. So if you just bring the slides back up again, Philip, let's go to these three areas. So the three phases, if you like, that we're figured on. Of course, much of what you see here is happening simultaneously. It's not like we're only working on Gen 2 right now, and then we're going to do the next thing, and then we're going to do the third thing. But roughly speaking, there are going to be three phases we anticipate as we build this plan out for the company. The first thing is to make sure that Gen 2 gets delivered on time, that the Gen 2 products are as delightful as you've seen, and they're also really very much as we can make them, they're best in class. So that's the Gen 2 delivery phase. I'll come on to talk a little bit more about that. The second thing is something that many companies never achieve. Companies, particularly in the hardware business, are hard pushed to achieve profitability. And we have a major drive going on for profitability, and we'll show you just a few insights into what we're doing that we believe will take us into a break-even stage and then profits and so forth. Again, no promises. We can't guarantee we're going to achieve that, but we can tell you why we're confident and why we're working on it and how we're really very focused on that phase. And the third thing, yes, Seymour.
I was going to say, and profitability and equity value are not, they're not joined at the hip. Amazon, you mentioned kind of earlier.
We're going to come and talk about it a little bit.
Yeah. We'll bring that up in just a second. I'm sorry. I'm so jumping.
So exciting. I know this whole behind the business thing is so exciting. I know. So, and of course, you've known that MAGFAST's intent is to be a dominant company in a space which is highly fragmented, which is the charging space, and we're working on some things which we think can bring major growth. So let's go into those phases. So what are we doing with Gen 2 to deliver those products? Well, the first thing is that we are delivering products that Seymour will talk a lot about as being, and he's even emphasized it on this slide, which will be and are delightful. It's a crucial, really very different attribute to what happens with MAGFAST products, is that this kind of this focus on products which are truly delightful, which are designed to be easy to use, the kind of Steve Jobsian approach to this, where the interface, as you will see, because many of these products will have a color screen with an interactive UI. So things will start, there we go, there's a product, but there is one of these future products where they'll be just very obvious in how they'll operate. We've taken a lot of feedback from the focus group work that we've actually inherited a little bit from Iontra in terms of the design of the products. Quite different from the first products. You've seen that kind of, the black look, the sheen, and so on and so forth. We believe that these products are going to be absolutely delightful, and you will see that in spades as things move on. So that's the first attribute. The second thing is that we're looking at products which are highly capable and unique in their space. So for the Gen 1 products, they were certainly about as fast, as speedy, as capable as any product in the arena could be. Gen 2, we believe, will be the very fastest chargers and power banks on the market, which is a bold claim. And we can't say it without the "we believe" part of it, but we strongly believe that these products will be the most powerful products in their space in a market which has many thousands of products, because it's a very big market. So unique, powerful, delightful products. Second thing to mention is that we have reduced the focus, and we've increased our focus, reduced the number of products.
Rex, would you like to take your medicine and rephrase that last?
I've got to take a glass of water, hadn't I? So increased our focus on a smaller number of products. So there is a smaller collection. If you consider what Steve Jobs did when he first moved back into Apple after the spell with John Scully and Gil Amelio, he said, we have a huge range of products available right now to our customers. We have printers, we have personal assistants, the PDAs that they had in the market, we have desktops, we have laptops, we have about 30 or so different elements. You're going to say, Seymour?
Well, I'm just saying, I remember it. And even if you set aside printers and all of that other stuff, even within the computers, there was this blizzard of different models and so on that nobody understood. And so this radical simplification, I think, is a great lesson that many in the industry have learned from that period.
I think it's known as a reduction in focus, as we've now coined it, or at least I've attempted to.
Yes, great. Let's somebody get that up on the homepage, please. MAGFAST, home of the reduction in focus.
Yes, it's certainly reductionism of a different kind. Anyway, so a significant improvement in focus in terms of what MAGFAST is doing, and it means one by one. Right now, what are we doing? We're releasing one major product, which is AirPro. We're talking about AirPro. We're talking about the expandability of AirPro with their database. Very different from the previous world in which we were attempting to get 6 products made simultaneously and so forth. And of course, what does MAGFAST do when delivering products? Well, MAGFAST builds products that fit within a system architecture. We call this the ecosystem strategy. It means that if you buy one MAGFAST product, you are incentivized to buy a second MAGFAST product because they all work together. They all snap to charge using magnets, and they all charge immediately as soon as you put them on there. And you will see that there are some very um characteristics. Seymour is demonstrating one of them right now. The only products on the market that will stack to charge. And he's just showing 2 of these products, but actually stack to charge in a way where there's no. Oh, there we go. Okay, we've got
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we haven't put any phones on here. You want to put a phone on there?
The most powerful charging stand on the market, doing something with ultimately zero loss in terms of what will happen. The very first generation of this product won't do all of what you're seeing here, but you're going to have a phenomenal range of products which are unique, highly capable, and which are, we believe, the very fastest, most capable products on the market within an ecosystem. So that's where we're starting. We're starting in terms of delivering these amazing products. The second phase of the plan, as mentioned, is this drive to break even. And we don't deliver a projection as part of what we do here, but believe you me, what's working right now, what's happening behind the scenes right now, is a lot of work. This is a Jeff Bezos quote, by the way, from a CNBC interview in 2018. Jeff said all overnight success takes about 10 years. And he was talking about profitability, frankly. Took about 10 years, took about a decade for Amazon to become profitable, took about 17 years for Tesla to become profitable. We are not comparing ourselves with Amazon or Apple or Tesla or you name it, big tech company. But it does take time, particularly when you have physical products to deal with and your margins are lower. In the software business, these things can happen a little bit more quickly. There are some benefits to profitability being tough to achieve. One of them is something called barriers to entry. It means that once you achieve that level, your competition has got a higher bar to reach to become competitive. MAGFAST, because for a number of reasons, has been kind of chipping away, working at this. We'll bring up a slide in a second, which talks about working very hard on a number of different business variables, and some of the variables in this business are completely outside our control. Some of our tariffs being a great example. It's a huge variable that we cannot affect. Some of the variables we've made decisions around already. For example, the market positioning of MAGFAST is very much premium. Some of them we're working with every single day. And let's look at some of the operational variables of MAGFAST. We have driven down in the past year or so, significantly driven down MAGFAST monthly burn rate, the fixed costs, the things we know we have to spend money on, to do with the kind of refocusing that took place, the increase in focus there. In terms
we've also driven down the product focus, right, Rex?
And the product focus that I just mentioned, which is also a major significant change in terms of the way the organization operates. We have cut the development cycle, the amount of time it takes to produce a product. A whole host of reasons why that is, in very large part to do with the way that development takes place inside MAGFAST, how much of the work takes place here, and how we work with our partners.
Let's go out a shout out to we mentioned Philip earlier, but Jack Chen on our team and Nancy Tsu, who are both just phenomenal and incredible. They both have Chinese as a first language, but they're core parts of our team, just doing unbelievable work there. Jack may even be watching us live right now. Hey, Jack, thank you so much for that.
If you are,
it's just fantastic. It's really, I can't describe the difference in the feeling when there's an idea and then a few days later it's manifest, rather than there's an idea and then there's months and months of meetings and thoughts and disappointments and so on.
Well,
it's really fantastic.
We certainly have the meetings, and there's still a lot of work before a product comes out. But boy, has that development cycle shifted. Yeah. Jack and Nancy. I mean, look, consider Jack, extraordinary individual who, and frankly, we give him challenges the whole time. We say, Jack, go find this, and within a very small number of days, we found a solution to something which is a major challenge. So the final operational variable is to do with gross margin, and there are things that one can work on in terms of gross margin, but a lot of work has taken place over the past year to ensure that we have sufficient gross margin to cover the costs of the business, which is a major step in the direction of profitability.
Indeed.
The second group is all about marketing. So the second group of areas that we've been working on very heavily, and they all, if you like, come under this area called MER marketing, which is the marketing efficiency ratio. So what have we been doing in terms of marketing? Well, you may have heard us talk in the past about the return on ad spend, the ROAS. And ROAS is tough in the current world. The return on ad spend is really difficult in the modern world, but we have some new amazing people on our team who've managed to turn some dials there. We have some new amazing third-party partners who've been turning dials there. So the return you get on ad spend, which is not uncommonly less than 1, in other words, you spend $1, you get less than $1 back.
In sales, just to be clear.
For marketing, yeah. It's not uncommon that people spend $1 to get less than $1 back. So The second thing that we do, and by the way, our return on ad spend, clearly we're working to do something better than spend $1 and get less than $1 back. And in the hardware business, you have to. The second thing that we're working on in that arena is to do with upsells. What happens when someone goes away, and are they likely to come back? So part of the deal is making sure we deliver on the initial promise, and then we provide reasons within the ecosystem to buy more MAGFAST products. Some of them will happen very quickly. That's what we call an upsell. Some of them will happen later. We would call those promotions. And of course, new products coming out, product launches. So the key variables that we're working on there in terms of the proportion of people who come back and buy some more, and the participation level for the promotions and product launches. And you will see a very, very much more, if you like, structured approach to both of those arenas in the coming months and years. And the final area is to do with strategy. Now, there are many strategic elements that we work on inside MAGFAST, and I work with at least hundreds of companies over the years in terms of all these areas, but particularly the ambition that they're focused on. So we've talked a little bit about the fact that MAGFAST has made many strategic decisions. One of those is that we're working on today heavily is to do with our long-term ambition. And ironically, the drive to break even is somewhat at odds with getting really big. One of the reasons that Amazon took a long time to become profitable is because Jeff Bezos' ambition was to become the predominant supplier of goods on the internet. Very different ambition from somebody who decided to make a small lifestyle business selling books, for example. MAGFAST's ambition is to become a very significant player in the charging and power banks market, and even beyond charging and power banks. You'll see more of that as time goes on. So there will be some tension. There will be some tension there as we bring on the likes of Frederick Torstensen and Andrew Dubin and look at what they can do to make this company a significant player, because there's cost attached to that. Regardless, we think that the drive to break even is something which is looking very promising, and it is possible that we'll be able to give you some very satisfying looking numbers in the next year or so as we make that drive. Very significant.
Let's just talk about some growth opportunities quickly, and then we need to give folks a little information.
Right, exactly. So this is that area of tension I just mentioned. So that there are three big things that we've been working on, and we will continue to work on, and that we're going to be talking to you in all of these upcoming updates that we do for investors. The first of them, you've heard Andrew talking about this, you've heard Frederick talking about this, you've heard Seymour talking about this, is the addition of new channels, particularly retail. So the addition of retail is something which we expect to see happening for MAGFAST within 2025. I don't think we'll say more about that because there's a lot to be covered, and you've already heard Stefan and Matt, you'll hear more. The second arena is to do with the development of a public charging network using these incredible technologies which the company is developing. So both the addition of Qi 2, but also some fantastic new technologies which we're yet to announce. And the final thing, which could well be incorporated into our products and beyond, is something which we're calling the development of new standards. So new products that could be standards setters in their arena. And Seymour has shown this document, the patent that MAGFAST has filed, the most significant patent in Steve Barnes's career, or at least something close to it.
That's something. Most significant patent in over a quarter of a century. That's something.
It's really an area. So we believe there are very significant growth opportunities on top of a solid platform for a company that's driving heavily towards profitability. We think that the coming years are going to be very exciting for MAGFAST, all of which might, and we hope very much will, deliver significant value to our stakeholders. And thank you to everybody who's kind of worked with us and supported us over the years, and we look forward to your support as this story unfolds.
Thank you, Rex. So you can see why we have me doing the demos and him doing the thinking. It's really we're very fortunate to have you on the team, Rex.
Thank you, man.
Let's just remind folks, every now and then we offer an opportunity to invest in MAGFAST, in the company. We are not a publicly traded company yet, but there's a special set of SEC rules where folks who love young companies, if those young companies do the very, very demanding set of work to meet all of the obligations set up by the SEC and list in the correct place on a platform, list is perhaps the wrong word, but I don't know, I can't think of another one. Appear, well, let's say list on. I think we're listed on Net Capital, aren't we? We're just not listed on an open exchange, but to list on Net Capital or one of their competitors, then you can invest in MAGFAST. We are open for an investment window at the moment. The perks that we have mentioned before, and we will mention again, run out at midnight Wednesday, April the 30th, midnight Eastern. So that is because we're live. That is in 48 plus 7 is 55 hours from now. The perks will the details of when the offering itself closes are at Net Capital, and you can just go to, we should put this, can we put that on the screen? It's probably on the bottom of the screen now, actually, is it? magfast.com/invest will take you to a page on our website that has some more videos and more materials and this, that, and the other. There's also a link on the screen, I think, that shows invest.magfast.com, which is a direct link to Net Capital if you choose to invest in MAGFAST. So either of them will do. magfast.com/invest will give you even more content, some replays of previous stuff. It'll list the perks in more detail. magfast.com/invest, magfast.com/invest. There's also, while you are there, a long letter that I wrote to our community. Was it, Kate? It was about a week ago, something like that. There's a copy of that outlines quite a bit of how we're thinking about this, and is a good companion to this presentation if you're finding this to be valuable. Okay, I think it would be worth just whizzing through for folks who are new here or folks who'd like to see it again, just a little bit of the MAGFAST kind of thinking and philosophy. The philosophy from the beginning has always been to produce products that are best in class. This was the original collection of products a few years ago, and we also had this original idea that everything should snap to charge. Again, showing the first generation of products here, because these are, when you develop a company, some folks occasionally are successful completely reinventing what a company is. We felt that the original core of MAGFAST was so strong that if we returned to the core and developed that, we would have success. And I think that this is proving, we're being proven right with the reception that we're getting to these products. The new products, if you show me out here, please, Philip, I'm holding the new AirPro and new Database Pro. Snap to charge. Everything's going to snap together as part of our new system, but using the new industry standards. And Rex mentioned this earlier on, but if you have a system of things that all work beautifully together, just like Lego, or maybe like those battery systems where you buy one tool and then the same batteries mean that it's worthwhile buying more tools from the same supplier. Or of course, ecosystems like Apple's is probably the best developed, but the same is true in other places as well, where all of the products just work beautifully together. And we did that somewhat with the first generation, even including the packaging, which is so beautiful, where all of the packaging is designed that it can be combined in multiple different ways. So our product strategy from the beginning has been like this. This is just a kind of a rough layout of the market from low end to premium. We think that there's actually an ecosystem component that others haven't spotted, and we've been showing this for a little while now. So we think that not only can we be at the premium end of the ecosystem, and we've shown you that over the last few weeks with these incredible new products, but because each of the products is best in class in its own right, we can perhaps also get to compete on an individual level, where if you just want a charging stand, we have the best charging stand. We really do. It's fantastic. Going to show it to you again in just a second. So let's actually talk. Let's talk through how we look at charging and how we look at these second generation of products. I mentioned earlier on that charging today has two two standards. There's the USB-C standard for wired. You just plug in like this. And there is the wireless charging stand. Qi has been around for a while. It was actually adopted quite early by Android. Apple came along a little bit later. And this is where you get to place your devices directly onto a wireless charging coil. It looks something like this. The coil is hidden inside the base. It's hidden inside the phone as well. And this is known as Qi. The problem with Qi is it requires everything to be lined up really beautifully. And most people, of course, don't do that. They just slap it down. And because they're not lined up properly, a lot of the energy turns into heat instead of turning into fast charging. So this was solved originally by Apple with the introduction of MagSafe. And they then helped the industry to develop what's called the Qi 2 charging standard, which at its heart is as simple as a ring of magnets around the outside of the coil so that everything lines up beautifully like this. And you're familiar, many folks, you see them carrying around. Here's my phone, which looks pretty much like the one that's on the screen at the moment if I just hold it up for the camera. This transparent case is actually showing the ring of magnets on the back that allows it to align and snap beautifully like this. And I'm here to tell you, if you don't already charge like this, it's going to be best with us. But in the meantime, I've been doing this for a couple of years with some of our good and less good competitors' products. It is so much more convenient than plugging in and unplugging. I don't know. It sounds like a kind of very sort of first world opinion, and I guess that it is. But if we're using these products all the time, this is the important step towards making them delightful. So
it's not just because of the convenience of charging, it's also because of the convenience of having a stand that you can put your phone on for various reasons, right? If having a conversation with someone on Zoom, but if you want to have,
absolutely,
you want to turn it on stage, you get the little alarm clock, which comes up automatically, I think, on an iPhone, etc. It's a very convenient way. And if you have the same thing in your car, then it's a great stand for using your GPS.
Yeah, the entire standard is just fantastic, and is so much better than what's come before. So we decided to major on it. It's a vertical, horizontal. We're now charging here, and there was a little bit like I'm never quite sure when they're going to do the horizontal thing. It's an aspect of Apple, but you can hear the charge starting there, and it doesn't seem to be in the mood to do the to do the weather thing. Although, I mean, I do it. It does it for me every single night by the bed. Anyway, whatever. Okay, I promised you that some element of the demo would fall flat, and there it is. Looks like we've just had our hitch for this mission, Houston. All right. So time's a great changer. Time's a great opportunity. So as the world moves from Qi to Qi 2, MagSafe in the Apple world, but it's essentially the same. We get big global change, meaning big global opportunity. So this is the big opportunity for MagFast. You've seen the devices; they look like this. There's a simple, flexible one. Do I have one here? Right here. This one isn't plugged in at the moment, but it just just snaps straight onto the back of the phone. You can see the picture on the screen there. I'm holding one up in front of the camera here as well, like so on. See, it just snaps on like that. The truth is that this really isn't more convenient because you need two hands to undo it, you see. But in fact, those of you who've been with us for a while, I did a live stream after this first came out saying that I didn't think it was better. I believe it is intelligent to modify your opinions when you get more information. So this whole system with the circle of magnets, Qi 2, should be, if you can bring the slides up, Philip, it should be delightful. It really should be delightful. But most of the competitive products are bad. They're just not that good. So let me have a look at my slides here, and I want to skip a little bit ahead. Yeah, so we revealed, if you were with us a few weeks ago, we had the red silk handkerchief. We pulled it off, and we revealed AirPro that we've been talking about already quite a bit today. But AirPro is truly, right, the market heavyweight in 3 ways. And I just want to go over those quickly now. Then we'll summarize the perks, and then we'll let you go with a huge thank you for joining us today. So AirPro, first of all, it is a power heavyweight. What does that mean? The others typically have only one full Qi charging port, okay? Some of them now have Qi 2. Some of them just have something more basic. Some of them have a kind of fake kind of ring of magnets. We have 3 full Qi 2 power. So you're going to be able to charge 3 phones at full power simultaneously. Like this. I don't even have 3 phones here at the moment because the family's out. But here's a second one there. They're not charging at the moment. Let me plug it in. You'll hear them start to charge. Okay, that one vibrated. That one I think you probably heard. But you can also throw, here's some wireless headphones. Do you hear that little ting? We do.
Yep. Very slight. Katie. My hearing's that much better than yours, obviously, because I'm so much younger than you. So
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I heard that one. I actually don't have good hearing, but thank you, Rex.
All right. So that's that. We also, however, have right on the front a C. Philip, show that on the slide, and I'll show it here in the room. A USB-C outlet, because when the thing is sitting on your desk, sometimes you just want to plug something in. All right. And so here's our Lux Pro cable. Here's the AirPro, and you've got this C right in the front. Plug it in. We're going to give you 100 watts, which is plenty for running all your laptops, all your iPads, just all of that sort of stuff all of the time. 100 watts is I use 100 watts most of the time around the place, and most of the time the laptop is pulling 25 and 30 and 15 and those kinds of numbers. So 100 is plenty. Let's take a look at the competition quickly. I've got some of them. Right here. Competitors typically run a lot, and I do mean a lot less power. So 15 watts, if you're lucky, as the on the main pad there, but they'll typically then just put 5 in each of 2 other places. That's if they even have three charging points. So for a total of maybe 25 watts. AirPro, however, has got full 15 watts, a full 15 watts, a full 15 watts, and then another 100 watts on the bottom. That actually adds to 145. But because because the use case of having all of them in use at full power simultaneously is so remote, we're actually speccing it at 140 watts, which is why we've called this presentation, this launch event, power delivery, because 140 watts and all 4 of those outputs is really is something. So the second area in which we believe that AirPro is a heavyweight is in design. I mean, just look at this thing. It is absolutely gorgeous. It really is something. And the other thing about the design is that it is modular and expandable. We touched on that briefly earlier on, but here's the core unit. Let's expand it now with the hub for data that goes on the base called Database. And these are kind of preview. We haven't really formally launched these yet, but our small portable power banks are just going to snap on like this. Further expansion. We've even got the beginnings of, put it down somewhere, here we go, of a design for watch charging as well. And you'll be able to have pass-through, by the way, on these as well. These are dummy models that we're just experimenting with at the moment. But you're going to be able to charge 1-2 power banks like that, and then stick your phone right on top and charge that as well. So we're super excited about the modular and expandable nature of this system. And then the third area in which AirPro is a heavyweight is literally in the area of weight. We've got a kind of fun demo. Shall I do it for the good people now, Kate? Shall I do it for them, Rex? What do you think?
It's time. It's time.
It is time. Yeah, I just need to do a little bit of setup here. Okay. Let's bring it in. Here we go. All right. Now I'm going to remove, because I want to be fair, I'm going to remove Air Database from the core product. Here is Air Pro, and I'm going to bring in the heaviest of our competitors and put it on this little seesaw, this little scale here, see how we are. We've got about a kilogram here. There's a little over 2 pounds of weight. So let me put that on one side and put our competitors on the other. It doesn't weigh nearly as much. And in fact, if I get some of our other competitors here, I can put several of them on. Now, you might be thinking, well, why? Why on earth does this matter? Most things you want them to be light, don't you? Why are they making something heavy? So that's 4 of our competitors on there. I'm going to show you why it matters. Yeah. So if it tilted over to one side, 4 of them can just about hold us. But here's why it matters. I showed you earlier on that removing the phone from this little guy required 2 hands. Well, the truth is you need 2 hands to remove the phone from pretty much all of these competitors as well. So let me show you how that goes. All right. So this is just a standard regular. This is just a current generation phone. Put it on ours. All right. And I'm going to do it from behind so you can just see how I'm lifting it off. Okay. All right. So I'm not touching it. This is just standing freely here. And I'm just going to raise this up a little bit so you can make sure that you can see the foot of it. Got one of those desks that goes up and down. Yeah. So you see, it just picks off like that. This is what you want when you're leaving the kitchen. Here's what you do not want when you're leaving the kitchen, is to pick up your phone and have the stand come with you as you leave the house, right? Same here. Okay. Same here. These are the ones most people are buying, folks. Okay. Right. This is by far the best. Significantly heavier.
A
It's
little
still
better.
jumping up quite a bit. Can you see?
Mhm.
All right. So this is a very, very, very important difference. So heavyweight in 3 categories. Let's get these guys out of the way. Heavyweight in 3 categories. A heavyweight in weight, I just showed you. A heavyweight in design, the thing is beautiful. And a heavyweight in power as well, outpowering the competition by, as they say, a country mile. So we're just really, really thrilled with this design. And the feedback we've had from our customers and investors so far, obviously no one's been able to purchase this yet. The only way to get one of these at the moment is to become an investor in MAGFAST. And we'll go through the perks again in just a second. So it's a true heavyweight. It's made with a full metal jacket. And I hope that you can see that it is indeed, as we set out to make every product, it is absolutely, absolutely delightful. Could it be, in fact, the heavyweight world champion? A couple of other things to just go over quickly. So yeah, delightful to own, 100% compatible with everything in the industry. Gorgeous design, industry-leading quality. If you've seen nothing else today, you've seen that. We believe that it is absolutely leading in the area of innovation, super powerful wireless. And in terms of impact, we're still planting a tree for every single product. Let me just bring that up. Yeah, bring up that animation. So planting a tree for every single one. We're up at, what is it, Kate, 600, almost 650,000 trees planted, I think, in total so far. Yeah. Absolutely fantastic. Mm-hmm. AirPro is made out of a zinc alloy. Zinc alloy is incredible material, has some fantastic qualities for manufacturing. It's unbelievably beautiful. It's very nice and dense. Okay, it means a small amount of material delivers a lot of weight. It's perfect for precision engineering, and you've actually seen some of the precision. You saw the precision work on the mold earlier on, but very similar work is going to go on machining out these individual apertures and so on. It has great weight distribution, so heat distribution and weight distribution, but heat distribution, and it is. It's not only 100% recyclable as a material, but it's actually one of the few areas of the world where recycling is highly effective, and already 80% of the material is recycled. So it's a great material to use. Like glass does really well in this area as well. And frankly, it's just a beautiful, look at it there on the left, a beautiful statement piece where wherever wherever you put it. Could it indeed be a statement piece in a ballroom like this? So AirPro, it looks great in your den, in your bedroom, in your kitchen, just about kind of anywhere and everywhere. And we think you're going to want AirPros absolutely everywhere. All right, Kate, what else have we got? Do we have any other comments or anything coming in that you want to read out?
Well, so I wanted to do this thing where we showed videos that investors have sent in. However, I kind of messed up the videos. I accidentally clicked streaming instead of recorded, and so they came in all choppy. So, but I was able to grab the transcripts from those videos. So I just wanted to read what some of the investors said.
I just want to do a setup for anyone who doesn't know what we're talking about. From time to time, we invite folks to just record a little video about what they're thinking about our products, our team, about what it's like to be an investor in MAGFAST. And Kate sent out a few invitations a few days ago, and a whole bunch of responses came in, but the video quality was terrible. We were going to edit it together here. But read out some of the things folks said.
Okay, so I have a few, so we can split them up. We can do some now and some later if we want, just because there's.
I think we should probably do them now because we're coming up on an hour and a half.
It's already been an hour and a half. Okay.
An hour and a half of either live or pre-recorded. Who can even tell? And so I want to be wrapping up in the next few minutes. We'll go back over the perks, and then I think we should let.
Okay, well, I'll condense some of them because some of them are a little long, which was very nice. People did like full minute videos talking about how much they love MAGFAST, so it was very sweet. This one is from Gayla. Gayla said, I believe that MAGFAST is going to go far because of the quality and innovation they provide in their products. I have invested what I can in this wonderful company. Thank you, Seymour and Kate, for keeping us informed throughout the journey. Thank you, Gayla. Okay, so this is from David C. He said, I couldn't be happier with the amazing cables. I think I've purchased over a dozen and will continue buying and loved the opportunity to become an investor with the company. Thanks. Keep up the great work. Okay, Michael S. says, it's strange to realize that I've become passionate about a brand of charging devices and the company that makes them, but that is the magic of MAGFAST. It's not just the exceptional design and quality of their products. What really sets MAGFAST apart are their core values, which start with Seymour and extend throughout the company and include long-term vision, high standards for quality and innovation, remarkable attention to detail, and most of all, a genuine and consistent demonstration of integrity. Wow, Michael, that was very, very sweet.
That's much appreciated, Michael, because we've had challenges along the way, and some folks are quick to interpret challenges as something other than best intentions on our part. So I really appreciate that.
Yes, that's very, very sweet. Thank you, Michael. William says, well, we love everything about MAGFAST. My wife and I have been investors from the very beginning. We just couldn't think of a better company for our investment. Thank you, William.
Thank you, William. I should stress, we didn't mention this earlier on. Listen, investing in young investing at all can be risky. You might have noticed the stock market a little bit up and down recently. So investing is always risky. You should take professional advice and so on. And certainly no one should be staking their entire future on MAGFAST. However, which is one of the reasons why we like to have, like a large number of our community. We have so many people they've just invested like $100 or $120 or whatever the number is, and it's just, I don't know, man. It's
humbling.
Just occasionally, I'm rendered speechless.
Yes. Well, I have a few more. If we want to go through them,
do one more, and then I think we better wrap this thing up because I genuinely had no idea we were up at an hour and a half, and I think we should let folks go. But we'll summarize the perks and what to do if you do want to invest in MAGFAST in this round.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll do one more, and this one is from Kim K not the famous Kim K. This is our investor, Kim K. Hi, I'm an investor and purchaser of these wonderful products from MAGFAST. Last Christmas, I supplied all of my children and their spouses with Lux cables. They love them. They're so fast and they're so wonderful. Also, I'm an investor because this company is wonderful to work with. I invested because I believe in these products. They're fabulous. I highly recommend anybody who can invest in them. They're wonderful. Their product is wonderful and their staff is wonderful. Thank you so much, Kim.
Thank you, Kim. And there's, yeah.
Mm-hmm. People are sweet.
If you would like to join Kim and the others, we'd love to have you. We are including the following perks for investors at various levels until midnight Eastern this Wednesday, April the 30th. The full official details of the raise, like the legal details of the raise, are at Net Capital. We recommend you go to magfast.com/invest, where you'll get some more context and a link through to Net Capital. So here are the perks that we are including. Thanks for laying it out like that, Philip. All right, so Lux Pro, we're doing an exclusive limited edition black Lux Pro. This thing is absolutely gorgeous. I have one here without the limited edition kind of embellishment on it. The thing is absolutely gorgeous. It's going to come with the where did I put it? The USB-A adapter. I'm sorry, I've misplaced it here somewhere. It's going to come with the USB-A adapter. Absolutely gorgeous, super high-powered cable, super strong. We've been using these internally for the last few months, and they are off the charts. I cannot. I love the existing Lux cables. Thank you, everyone who's got multiples of them. I hope you'll get one or two of these to your collection as well. We're describing them in one presentation as the everything, everywhere, all at once cable, because these got so much power, so much data, they can basically handle pretty much anything that you want for the next 10 years. If you're setting up a data center, you probably want some slightly different specifications and so on. But for those of us who just live regular domestic and business lives, this is off the charts. Then you notice I've got the same error on this. This is a copy of the same slide from earlier on, but at the 1,000, I need to emphasize at the 1,000 investment level, there will be a single AirPro, as shown, investors numbered limited edition in this gorgeous thing. And whilst this one is not logoed up, I would just show, Philip, just show me quickly on the screen here. This is a previous MAGFAST Air from a few years ago. This was the investors limited edition with the gorgeous limited edition logo. Can you see that on the top there? Just fabulous. It's going to be even better on the new Air Pro. Right, for folks who invest $2,000, and again, same error that we found earlier in the presentation. So this is the $2,000 investment level. Okay, 2,000 or more. 2 Air Pros with 2 Air databases going to come with it. And I should emphasize that the at $500 or more, there's the black limited edition black Lux Pro. That is included at all of the other levels. So 1,000, a single Air Pro. 2,000, you're going to get 2 Air Pros and 2 limited edition Air Database Pros as well. And you saw the demo earlier on. We were super buzzed about Database Pro and Air Pro as well. Let me just put them on down there. Boom. All right. And then for folks for whom it is appropriate to invest a little bit more, we've got the Future Focus, a special extraordinary one-day event of entrepreneurship and investing and technology and marketing. As I say, this is not us trying to sell you on MAGFAST. We're just going to give some of the folks, some of our investors who've invested $5,000 or more in March and April of this year, an inside view of some of the cool things we're doing that you can then take away into your own business. And I would just say that while we'll be buying lunch for you and shipping you lunch, maybe if you have another member of your family who is starting a business, interested in entrepreneurship, going to college to study that kind of thing, maybe they've just lost their job in the recent environment and are looking for some motivation, bring them along to MAGFAST Future Focus. It's going to be very special. And is Rex still? Yeah, Rex is still on the screen. Rex has run many of these kinds of days over the years. He's really good at it, and he's the mastermind behind Future Focus. So thank you again, Rex. And then and if $10,000 or more is your flavor, join us for dinner in New York with me and other members of the MAGFAST team. Okay, magfast.com/invest. That's it, I think.
Yeah.
magfast.com/invest. Anything else we should be saying? We should be saying thank you. We should say thank you to folks. Got a slide here that says thank you.
Do we want to talk about closing ceremonies on Wednesday?
Oh, yes. We felt that sitting here for the last hour and 35 minutes, for some people, it's not enough. Some folks, they're sitting there, they're going, oh my God, they're wrapping up now, and I want more. So, given that the Wednesday is the final day that we're going to be including the perks, we're going to do a close. We've done this before. We're going to do a live closing ceremonies on Wednesday. When's it going to be, Kate?
4 p.m. Eastern.
4 p.m. Eastern. So it's 1 p.m. Pacific. We haven't forgotten about you, Mountain. You're in there as well. 2 p.m. for you.
And Central.
3 p.m. All right. And it's going to be fun. We'll be here. We'll be taking your questions, your comments, and it's going to be very special. We're going to wrap up this final bit.
Rex, you're muted.
Rex seems to be muted at the moment.
Sorry, I had an important question. Are we going to be live? Are we going to be live at 4 p.m.?
Yes, live.
Is that the plan?
We're going to be as live as we've been today. That's the level of live. So who's to say?
Yes, exactly.
Thank you so much for joining us today. Yeah, your participation means the world for us. We're just I don't have anything to say that isn't sort of repeating it. We're thrilled with these products. I'm thrilled with the team. I couldn't be more grateful to Rex and Kate and Philip behind the scenes, and Jack and all of our folks in customer care, and Andrew and John and the folks at the list just goes on and on. You're all amazing. Thank you. Thank you so much. Rex and I have to wrap up actually, because we're going to go and meet with a potential new member of the team in 22 minutes. If we're live, it's in 22 minutes from now. So we're looking forward to meeting you, Michael, if you're watching now. All right. Thank you so much. We will see you live, same place, 48 hours from now, I guess, won't we? We'll be here. We'll be 46 and a half hours from now for closing ceremonies, for Power Delivery closing ceremonies. Thank you so much for being with us today. You're incredible. We'll see you then.
Thank you.
Did you know your modern smartphone surrounds its wireless charging point with a hidden ring of precision magnets, either right in the phone or a case? Both. And this is a way more convenient way to charge. So what if you could unplug your messy old chargers and get these gorgeous, powerful new chargers for all your things? Introducing MAGFAST AirPro, the most powerful premium chargers on the planet, bar none. AirPros are power heavyweights. Look, where most stands top out at a total of 25 watts output, Pros take up to 140. Honestly, so you'll charge not just one, not two or three, but up to 4 or more devices all at once. Your smartphone, watches, power banks, all at the same time, all at full power. AirPros are beautiful, iconic design heavyweights too. Look, awesome in your office, delightful in your den, bodacious by your bed, killer in your kitchen. You'll notice you want these new Airs everywhere. AirPros are weight heavyweights too. Seriously, all the competitors just flip and fly. The lightweights. So AirPros weigh in at over 2 pounds to last a lifetime and stay put when you go. And because laptops and some other devices still need a cable, you can charge them with fast, convenient USB-C right on the front. Now what if your new AirPro chargers are modular and expandable with options coming like these stackable power banks watch adapters, and more. Today, we're announcing this gorgeous custom-designed data hub that direct connects your display, instantly adds Ethernet, and plenty of peripherals like mice, keyboards, drives, cameras, and more. It's a base for data called Database. It takes pride of place right under your new charger or out of sight like this. And we're still planting a tree for every unit, over 640,000 so far. So these are the new market heavyweights. MAGFAST AirPros and MAGFAST Databases. Gorgeous, powerful, modular, magnetic, and fast. MAGFAST AirPro and Database. You want these heavyweights everywhere. So AirPro and Air Database launch in retail later this year. So initially, there is only one way for you to be among the first to get your hands on these exceptional products. And it's this investor-only limited edition AirPro. Join almost 6,000 customers and invest just $1,000 or more in MAGFAST during our spring 2025 equities offering. As a charter investor, you'll receive this gorgeous numbered engraved limited edition MAGFAST AirPro. Invest just $2,000 or more and receive 2 limited edition AirPros, each with Air Databases, plus special additional perks for investors of $5,000 and $10,000 today at magfast.com/invest.